everybody, you know what this is. Jerome, BFAM Cooking. Today we have something really, really special. We're going to do something different than we normally do. No recipes. Today is about... Today is about wine. As you can pretty well guess, I am not the wine expert. I have a lot of bottles of wine, about 300, but what I want to do is I ask a friend, somebody who knows more about it than anyone else that I know. He's a neighbor of mine, but he was one of the owners of one of Long Island's best wine stores, and I want you guys to know all about it. Hey, his name is Willie, and I'll bring him right on in. Willie, come on in.
Hey, Jerome, how you doing?
I'm well, sir.
I really appreciate BFAM inviting me today. Present these wines, and oh man, everything is so beautiful. As we know that wine is one of the premier enhancer for good cooking, and here we have nothing but some really good cooking. And we're starting off. What I see here is a great chicken. And chicken is, maybe Jerome, you can tell me a little bit more about this chicken because it looks so appetizing there.
All right, sir. So today what we're doing, I made you, I said, when I bring you in, I got to do it right. So I'm going to make chicken, I'm going to give you a pork dish, and I'm going to give you a beef dish.
Wow.
So I asked you to pair up, find me something that's going to work with those types of items. So what you're looking at in front here is you have a chicken breast, a white meat chicken breast that has been sous vide for a couple of hours, right? And then I put a little bok choy on there, and you're gonna love this celery root puree.
Celery root puree. That sounds so good. Yeah, that sounds really good. All right.
Tell me a little bit more about your history, if you wouldn't mind if we jump right in there.
Okay. Of course, I own the Wine Cellar Corporation, which is located here in Central Islip. All right, and I started off with the wines by traveling to different parts of the world, including Europe, and ended up in California, Napa Valley, Sonoma, Calistoga, all those areas, and also most of the central coast of California. However, as you may know, with wines, you choose, at least I choose them according to where the grape come from, and so, yes, and so you can't go wrong if you know where the grape come from. As you may know, there's over 5,000 different grapes.
No, actually, I didn't know that.
And so from the results of that, you're going to have 5,000 different flavors of wine and different grapes. However, for the chicken, I would definitely suggest a white wine.
Okay.
And the most common one with chicken would be a Chardonnay.
So what did you bring me?
I brought you a nice Chardonnay. Chardonnays can be more or less oaky.
Okay.
And also it comes from a steel barrel. The steel barrel Chardonnay is a little bit more effervescent. It's a little bit lighter and also has a little bit more tart to it. Mm-hmm. However, for this chicken, I chose an oak barrel Chardonnay. And from the results of the oak barrel, you get a bit of a buttery flavor, all right, which also adds to the chicken. So it enhances the especially white meat quite a bit. However, and I'm going to open the one that's very common. You can get it from any local store. It's called a bread and butter, and hence to say that it's smooth like butter. All right, and
so what are you doing here? You're peeling the top off?
I peel the top off because these are usually aluminum type tops that comes to cover the wine. And what happens is that you want to get rid of the aluminum because you don't want the aluminum to be in touch with the wine, because the aluminum can actually ruin a bottle of wine and if it's not opened properly. And then to open a bottle of wine, with this type of corkscrew is the one I use. I would suggest you use.
So why this one over the one that I use all the time?
Because for the fact that this you can actually have more control of the cork itself.
So it's control that's the reason.
It's all about control.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
I don't know about you. I do have some control issues, but however, but in this situation here, it's about definitely appropriate to say control. Now, to be able to open the bottle of wine, you see the cork, how deep it's in there?
Yeah.
Then you want to center the piercing part of the corkscrew by putting it in the center. All right? Put it in the center, press down, go up, and then twist. All right? I know some people have a problem trying to open up a bottle of wine. However, you screw it all the way down, and there's a catch. That catches the side of the bottle like so.
Oh.
And so once you have that like that, it should look like that when you're opening it. And then you hold it in place, and you lift. So notice it's halfway up.
Yep.
And then you complete it. And it pops right
that
out.
looks really easy.
Yeah, good. So now, at most restaurants, the waiter will come in, open the wine, and they will take the cork from the opener, and they will place it on the table in front of you. All right? It's giving you the opportunity to examine the cork.
Okay.
Because a bad cork indicates that it's a bad bottle of wine.
What should I be looking for?
Should be looking for make sure that there's no streaks on it, meaning that oxygen has more or less penetrated the cork, and if its oxygen has penetrated, it has ruined the bottle of wine. However, you want to smell the cork. It should smell nice and fruity, just like the wine. All right?
Yeah?
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It should smell nice and fruity. That looks good. If it was a corked, what we call corked, meaning that there's a defect in the cork itself, the wine has more or less turned bad from results of being exposed. All right? And you don't know this. You will not know this until you actually open the bottle of wine. And that's why the waiter would put the cork in front of you, and that's when you have the opportunity to examine the cork.
So I know nowadays they're getting ready to get rid of all of these original tree corks.
Right.
They're replacing them with a synthetic. Why is that? Is that better or is it worse?
Well, the one thing about these synthetic corks, they're done by a computer, and they are more precise in the size and wise. Because if you have a batch of corks that is bad, all right, these corks are going to be produced for maybe 1,000 bottles of wine. So if it's not set properly, that whole batch of wine could be hundreds of thousands of dollars, would be ruined.
Oh,
all right?
my God.
So the vineyard itself would lose money.
Yeah.
However, the old traditional wine people like myself, I prefer the original cork. All right. I feel like I'm getting a good quality bottle of wine. It goes back to originality of bottling wine. So I'm more favorable toward the real cork.
Okay.
All right.
So there's no reason besides that? There's no sustainability issues? No,
right. It's not going to affect the quality or either the sustainability of the wine itself. However, it's much cheaper.
Okay.
A lot cheaper to actually present a more or less synthetic type cork.
So they're saving money.
Saving a lot of money.
Oh, okay.
With this. All right. And so, like I said, with the cork, you want to make sure that it's smooth. There's no imperfections in the cork itself. Imperfections in the cork mean there's imperfection in the wine. All right. Chardonnay is a wine that is commonly used, which is very well known for its production in the production of champagne. Okay. I would say more than 60% or 70% of the champagne that's produced in the world is from the Chardonnay grape.
Okay.
All right? And the other percentage is produced from the Pinot Noir grape. Pinot Noir is also a high quality champagne. Some of the highest quality champagnes come from the grape Pinot Noir.
So where would you say that those? Where would we find the difference in
the difference is that high-end champagne you find made with Pinot Noir. Some of low-end champagne, the everyday champagne, is usually from Chardonnay grape.
Okay. So is there a country or a space?
Well, France is of course hence champagne. Champagne, France. So what happened is that of course they're one of the biggest producers of champagne, and Chardonnay grape is one of the most popular grapes in producing champagne.
So bread and butter has a what kind of grape? I'm sorry.
This is a Chardonnay. And it was also fermented in an oak barrel.
Oak barrel.
Because of the oak barrel, it creates a buttery, hearty type of flavor. and also due to the fact that chicken is light, it more or less enhances the flavors of the chicken itself. And one of the great things is that, which I mentioned before, is about the steel barrel. Called wine can be done in a steel barrel or an oak barrel, and this happened to be an oak barrel. So it's going to be a little bit more heavier, a little bit more buttery.
Okay.
All right, and then of course the way that we look at it is the color. The color is good, nice and clear. Chardonnays are typically served cold.
Okay.
Let's give it a taste and see what it's like.
Wow, that looks very nice.
What to look for in a grape and in a wine is the consistency, the flavor, and you want to be able to give a nice smell. Should be nice and fruity. Sometimes you can actually smell the butter that's going on in the wine itself. All right.
So there's not real butter in there.
No, not real butter, but it tastes like butter.
Oh, okay.
You know?
So that's the margarine. Okay.
But it's and that's what it is. And the swirling. The reason that I swirl wine, and which most people who are familiar with wine, because you want to add the oxygen to it.
Okay.
And the reason that you add the oxygen to it because it releases the wine itself, the grape itself, and it makes it more flavorful and more fruity. All right, but it's not common to more or less swirl white wines.
Okay.
You more or less the tightness, either tautness of the wine comes with more of the red wines more than white wine. So white wine you can just pour in the glass and then actually sip.
Okay.
Here's to BFAM.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a good one.
So we should have some wine and we should have some food. Is that
Yes,
what?
yes, definitely,
Okay.
definitely. So the wine is going to wake up your palate.
Mm-hmm.
Wine is definitely going to wake up your palate.
Sir?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Let me give you a little bit of utensils here. There you are.
Thank you.
And a napkin.
Oh, this looks so good. Ugh.
So we're gonna try some of this chicken with that. Have a little bit of this bok choy. And
Well, typically what I would do is that with my food, I get the flavor. Let it start in your mouth, and then enhance it with a little wine.
well then. There we go. So oh yeah. Yeah, I tell you, the gotta get in that chicken. Now normally chicken it can be a little bit dry when you're cooking it. And I sous vide it for a pretty good reason for you. Try and hold in some of those juices. It cooks inside of its own juice.
So what this sous vide, all right, that term, I've heard it many, many times before. Definitely, what are you doing when you sous vide a meat?
Well, as you mentioned, France has some great wines. They also have some great technique. Sous vide is a French term for under pressure. And in this particular case, we are cooking in a vacuum, right? We seal a plastic wrap vacuum around it. Sounds weird, but food grade, right? And then we precision cook it to the correct temperature for the product. So proteins, you can cook vegetables, you can cook anything that you normally would cook on a regular stove with less oil, if no oil whatsoever added. So it's better for you. And the nice thing is that if you are so inclined, you like to prepare your meals, you want to do it for a long term, you can pretty much take your package of meat that you get from wherever your protein from the store, and you know what you're going to cook. You can bag it that way and then freeze it. And then when you're ready to cook it, you can take it out, stick it in the machine. It takes a little bit longer to cook. It's actually breaking cooking down into 2 steps, right? Which is cooking it for doneness, and then you sear it or create the Maillard reaction on the food. So that's when you get the crust on the outside. So we did that with all of our meats today, all of our proteins, right? Just to give you a little bit of differentness. You probably haven't had this because I don't think you have a sous vide at home.
No.
I have 2.
Most of us don't have a sous vide at home.
Well,
but however, I know the flavor is unbelievable.
Well,
it seems like it trapped the flavor there, and oh my God, I mean this is woo.
Yeah, so we have a couple different courses to go through today, so I didn't want to overload your plate with too much. I just want to give you a sample. I figured a little bit of celery root, a little bit of green, and some nice chicken, seared and seasoned, would take it over the top. And I think this did it. I hope you agree. Wine-wise, this is great with a great pairing. Is there anything else we should know about this white wine and the chicken?
Well, there are other wines that also will complement the chicken. You have, for instance, like a Riesling, all right, and a wine that will also go good with the chicken. It's called a Gewürztraminer. Gewürztraminer is a wine from Germany. It's white, very, very nice.
So you can only get it in Germany?
No, just that Germany is known for it. I mentioned before, I don't know if I mentioned before, but however, you have several parts of the country try to grow, attempt to grow different grapes that is more or less known for other parts of the country. However, I'm only mentioning the country where the wine originated from and where it grows best. Okay. And the best Gewürztraminer is grown in Germany. Okay. All right. And hence also a Riesling. You know, they're not too sweet, but it's more or less great with food. Some white wines, as you know, that is not a suggested to drink to more or less eat with food because for the fact that it doesn't really enhance the food itself. It dominates the food. Like for instance, like a Moscato.
Oh, yeah.
A Moscato is not a wine that you want to really say have with food, maybe have with dessert. Because it's so sweet. Oh. So if you take a wine like a Riesling or either a Moscato and have it with food, the wine will dominate the palate. Okay. But the Chardonnay and some of the other white wines is not quite as sweet, would more or less enhance the food. And my whole premise behind this is to match up the wine with food.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. I mean, it's really important, especially for a meal like this. The celery root puree is basically celery root with butter. So I figured, you know, if you're going to give me something that would match that, and you did, you pulled it out with this bread and butter. It's a great fragrance and a little freshness from the actual vegetable of bok choy, baby bok choy.
Beautiful, and I really appreciate the opportunity. I hope that we all can more or less advance from this as far as the food and wine pairings.
Well, we are going to advance. I have a double chop, smokeless double chop for you coming up next. Ooh. With pork chop. We're just going to break this down and I'll get on to the next one. Thank you. All right, so Willie, I got the pork out. This is a double chopped pork chop.
Double chop.
It is smokeless. Now, I know you wonder what that is.
Yeah.
So with sous vide, you cook it so long. And in this particular case, it's 4 hours. Right? You can do it as short as 2 for this thickness of pork at a particular temperature. And what I use is liquid smoke for this particular one. I know it's weird to say.
Liquid smoke?
Liquid smoke.
How do you create liquid smoke?
I don't create it. I buy it. Amazon sells this stuff. In this particular case, I got like 4 different flavors of smoke that they offer. I do have a smoke gun if I need it to bring in the extra smoke. But you know, if it needs a little bit of extra smoke, I do have a series of smoked salts that can top it off.
Okay, all right.
So this is a double chop, pork chop that's been basically removes one of the bones, you leave the other bone. Double thickness, 3 inches about. We have there a little carrot puree, right? Carrot puree, basically the carrot, this is traditional carrots, regular orange carrots, with, it looks dark or burnt. They're not, they're purple carrots on top, along with a little bit of medley of fruit, just to go with the pork. So peaches and mango and a little bit of avocado.
Wow.
So what did you bring me for wine to go with this?
Oh, man, this is unbelievable. It's intimidating the way this meat look, the way this meal is, and it's quite a challenge, I must admit. However, with the wine that will complement this great meal that you prepared here, and again, I would thank BFAM for inviting me. You know? And so with pork, I would strongly suggest a wine that is truly complimentary would be the Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir, okay.
Pinot Noir.
Is that a white or a red?
This is a red wine,
okay.
All right, but it's not quite as heavy as some of the other wines. Pinot Noir is a unique grape because we call it the unforgiving grape.
Unforgiving.
Unforgiving, meaning that if you have a vineyard that grows a Pinot Noir, all right, the temperature, the climate, and everything must be consistent year round.
Consistent year round. Really?
Year round.
Okay.
Because what happens is that if, for instance, if in a Pinot Noir climate, you have suddenly increase in temperature that's going to affect the grape itself, it's going to affect the wine.
Oh.
The Pinot Noir is not going to be as good.
Okay.
And one of the places that will grow the best Pinot Noir here in the United States is Oregon.
Oregon
is a state.
Oregon, doesn't that winter there, or is it just consistent?
It's consistent in the mountains.
Oh, okay.
All right, a consistent temperature. Pinot Noir requires a consistent temperature.
Okay.
Pinot Noir grape it truly complements pork. All right, but however, it's a great sipping wine.
Sipping wine. I like sipping wines. That means I can have it in my afternoon.
That's right. You can have it, and there's also in some circles they use it even for dessert. But it's a light wine, and it's not quite as taunt as a Cabernet Sauvignon or Zinfandel or Barolo or either Amarone. However, the Pinot Noir is a great wine for pork.
Okay.
Again, we have a pourer here, which I have also inserted. Now we're going to. I always want to test the wine to make sure that it meets its expectations.
So and we should do that same thing with the cork,
with the cork, the same as repeated earlier.
Okay.
You want to test the cork, and also you want to swirl it, because Pinot Noirs can be tight.
Okay.
What I mean by tight, it has not released its fruit yet.
Okay.
Because it's corked up in the bottle, it's been fermenting, and it's not quite had a chance to breathe. Okay. But we're doing that, we're swirling it to allow it to breathe. And when it breathes, and as we know,
cheating the head by sipping something.
no, so it's okay.
It's good though.
As we know, oxygen itself is both a friend and an enemy to wine.
Okay.
If you allow a good wine, to sit too long, it continues to ferment because grapes are alive. All right, and it's tasty. Evolutionizing all the time. And what happens is that the reason that we swirl it, because we want to get the oxygen in there, because the oxygen, it releases the fruit. Okay. And when it releases the fruit, you get this nice fruity flavor and the true essence of the wine itself.
So what should I be tasting? You go ahead and taste and tell me.
So what happens that with the Pinot Noir, it has such fruit with it to complement the pork. It has a hint of strawberry, cherry, in it, and you can even taste some chocolate in it. And with this particular one, this is from
get the strawberry, cherry.
Say Central Coast of California.
What's the name of this one?
This is called Josh.
Josh.
It's a vineyard out of Napa.
Okay.
Central Coast, and it's quite nice, and it's grown in the mountains there. And what it's going to do is, as far as the pork chop is concerned, bring out some fruit, because pork, as you may know, can be a little bit on the tight side.
I understand.
Right?
I understand.
But the wine actually loosens it up,
okay.
and it complements it with a little bit of fruit.
So
Pinot Noirs has a little bit more fruitier than some of the other wines.
Cool.
All right.
I definitely get the strawberry.
Oh, yeah.
Get the cherry.
There's cherry and the strawberry in it. There's no doubt about that.
So let's try it with this meat, man. See what this protein.
All right.
See what we got here.
My pleasure.
Here, let me give you this one. You
okay.
can have that one.
Okay.
And then
all right.
This one off for you.
Lay
this down.
It looks so good. Oh my God.
Get in there.
I said, BFAM, you overdid yourself this time.
Cut some of this pork. Now this is like, again, it's been 4 hours of cooking. You know, hopefully it maintained all of its juices after all this time. I still got that smoke in there. Nice flavor.
Oh my God, it's so good.
That really goes really, really well. You know, a little bit at that carrot. Carrots are kind of sweet. At least they're supposed to be. At least the carrot puree will be.
Josh is this vineyard here is quite popular. It's a mid-price range bottle of wine, but I would say you get the bang for your buck with this. All right, and but the Pinot Noir from that area is not bad either. As I mentioned before, some of the best Pinot Noirs is produced in France and also in the state of Oregon. For the United States, Oregon would be the place to buy your Pinot Noir.
So not in California or something like that? What is California producing?
Producing right now, for different areas of California, due to the fact it's such a multi-climate area, they producing some of the best grapes in all varietals.
But what are they known for? I'm educate me here, my friend.
California was started out getting recognition in the early 1960s. Wine was produced, and they competed in the French wine tasting comparing. But they have this annual event that they bring out the best wines and they compare it, and they more or less put these different countries on the map. California was more or less put on the map in the late 1960s, and from different venues. However, that's when California became recognized as a wine producing state. Prior to that, the Europeans really looked down on the wine that is produced here in the United States. And then later on, as the New Age came along, then South America got involved. So we got some great wines that come out of South America. However, with the venues that produced wines and presented in the great wine tasting, it's part of history. You know, there's quite a few movies that is focused around California becoming to the age of wine production.
I think I definitely saw one of those movies where they were trying to enter the food competition, the wine competition, and they had to muster up all of their gumption. Originally,
exactly.
they were showing that the wine had turned. They thought it was going to be a perfect wine.
Right.
It turned brown.
Exactly.
And then the father sold it and got rid of it, but people saved it, and it turned. It turned back.
Yeah, that movie was called, I think, Bottle Shock.
Oh yes, that's the name of it.
It's called Bottle Shock.
So what do you think about the pork? Is the pork good?
Oh my God!
To me, this is perfect.
It is perfect. I'm telling you right now.
With that little bit of fruit freshness.
Oh my God! This is something that I mean, it's monumental. There's no doubt about no doubt about this.
Okay.
And I have never tasted pork that tastes so good.
Okay.
Oh my God! It's unbelievable.
So California wines and Oregon wines are one of the ones that I should be looking for or asking for when I go to the wine store.
Especially when it comes down to Pinot Noirs.
Pinot Noirs, okay.
Pinot Noirs.
All right. So how long have you been interested in wine, Willie? I had no idea about that about you.
I entered into wine. I was graduated from medical school as a PA in 2003. As I'm practicing medicine, on my vacations and seminars, I decided to go to wine countries, and that's what I did. And I went to places like Australia, France, Champagne, and I did in the entire wine country of California. And so from the results of that, I began to develop quite a knowledge of the different wines. And then once I was in the medical field for a while, I decided to create my own little wine boutique. Because I had a difficult time trying to go to the wine stores and trying to get a wine. I finding someone to really match me up with a good wine with a meal that I've prepared. And so I said, and here in the Islip area, there was not a true sommelier or someone that could, guide me in a direction to match up my foods. So I became that person.
I understand doing it on your own. I mean, I got into food, the sideways also. It was a hobby, doing the things anyone to get off the couch. And we had to go do something. We loved watching Food Network. We said, why don't we take a class and get into it? And, and the rest is history. Now I'm doing this and also, still doing what I normally do, which is coding and doing that thing. But that's why we have the sous vide machine, because I take it to the next level, trying to make sure.
There's nothing. I mean, really, there's nothing more pleasurable than pursuing your passion. I have a passion for it. I always have, and it has rewarded me. It's not about the money. It's about me feeling satisfied in something like this, like what you've done today. That it is to me add to my mother's knowledge, and how important it is to match the wine with the food.
Yeah, I just like to share food. So now, I mean, we share food around the block here. That's what we do, here at Park Row. The most important thing to me is that I give you good food. You go to a restaurant, but good food's got to come from here. When we eating here, that's what we're doing.
Oh yeah.
So thanks again for telling me about this particular wine. Next thing we're going to do, sir, is I'm going to bring you. I've been waiting for you to come back from Florida so I can bring you in here. I got to get this seared and up to par for you. It is a Wagyu beef short rib.
Whoa! Oh my God!
That's right. I told you I was waiting for you to come
back. Oh my God! Now you're really pouring it on now.
Now I got a red wine reduction for you, and we have some broccolini. We're just going to put that out there. I hope you enjoy it. Short ribs.
Oh, right.
So we got some short ribs here that have been braised for 48 hours. I put a little fruit on there, and thank you very much for bringing the collard greens. My broccolini was just, you can't even show it to you today. It happens. The bridge too far with 3 meals all at one time.
Well, it's okay, because what happened is that you've added something to the meal, which you're receptive for, which is the collard greens. And, you can't go wrong with a nice beef with collard greens and fresh fruit. Well, first thing we have to do is recognize the guest of honor, which is the beef. It's all about the beef.
All about the beef. Oh, yeah, I like
that. What happened is that I'm looking at this beef here. It's so beautiful and everything. So tell me about this beef.
I got this stuff from I think it's Crazy Cow or Cow Crazy or something like that. It's a Crowd Cow is what it is. They sell it in mass quantities, do it by mail order, right? Prairie raised, grass fed, yada yada yada, right? And I cooked it for 48 hours.
Whoa.
Sous vide, right? Now, generally, what that would mean is it would break down and give you a nice soft rendition of what the beef can be, right? And it would release some of its juices slowly into your mouth. But we had to keep this on hold, which I should have kept it in the machine, so it's a little bit drier than I wanted to present to you, but hopefully it'll be fantastic.
Well, so far, BFAM has presented some great meals, and what happened is that I'm quite sure this is going to be up to par.
Okay.
All right.
Well, what wine do we match up with?
Okay, now, this is a heavy beef, all right, and a flavorful one. One of the most hearty, flavorful wine grapes that is produced in the world, besides some of the higher French wines, would be the Zinfandel.
Zinfandel, okay.
Here in the United States, we treasure our Zinfandels.
Okay.
All right. It is a wine that could be kept for tens of years, and also
tens of years,
tens of years, decades.
Okay.
And from the results of that, it only gets better.
Okay.
Right? And Zinfandel, the best Zinfandel here in the United States is produced in Lodi, California.
Lodi, California.
And this is a Lodi, California Zinfandel.
And from who? What's the name?
This is from the vineyard called the Old Vine Zen. And
okay.
And what happened is it was produced around a Catholic school, and they came up with the idea of calling it 7 Deadly Zens. We know about 7 deadly sins.
Yes.
But this is called the 7 Deadly Zens.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
And it was more or less focused around the Catholic school itself.
Okay.
All right. And so again, Lodi, California, Catholic schools. The Zinfandel go back hundreds of years, however. But the Zinfandel grape here in the United States, what we're known for is that, which is much sweeter, is called the white Zinfandel. All right.
So this is not white. This is
red. This is a red.
Okay.
So what they have done with the Zinfandel grape itself is such a hardy grape, it produces 2 wines.
2 wines.
One
2 for
is
1.
2 for 1 out of one grape.
Okay.
One is called white Zinfandel, which is a sweet pink wine that people drink all the time, all the time. But a true Zinfandel wine is a hearty red grape and has a high alcohol content.
Oh, I like high alcohol content. That's
Yeah.
the stuff that makes parties better.
A glass of good Zinfandels is equal to a shot of Remy or Hennessy.
Oh,
right.
Those are names that I know. Remy, Hennessy.
Yeah, and so from the results of that, it's tight. All right, it need to be aerated.
Okay.
And you need to swirl it.
Okay.
And what happens is that once you swirl it, and the oxygen gets mixed with it, it brings out the sweetness in the wine itself, and hence it become more fruity. It become more like plums and raisins. It's not quite as heavy as an Amarone, but it comes pretty close. All right. But far as I'm concerned, Amarone is French and Italian. This is our Amarone, which is called a Zinfandel.
Okay.
And hence, have a taste.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I can see how this is gonna go with the beef.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can taste it. It craves for a heavy red meat.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's no doubt about that.
Would you say this has even like it has a richness to it?
A richness like a raisin, plums.
Yeah.
Raisin and plums.
Like a little bit of a spice that's hidden underneath
there. Yes, there's a spice to it. All right. And so what happened is that one great thing of for this particular wine, there is one also that produces like it's natural. They use the ladybugs as part of the process for fertilization and also to drive off other bugs to keep from eating the
use the ladybug? What?
The ladybug. The ladybug is a very vicious bug.
Really?
It kills other insects.
Really?
Yes, it does.
Really? I didn't realize the cute little thing was a killer.
Oh, the cute little thing is a killer.
Really?
All right.
The cute little insect is a killer.
Yeah,
that's good.
The ladybug is a dangerous bug.
Really?
And in some vineyards, they put the ladybug inside of the vineyards.
Really?
To keep all the other bugs away. You never think that a ladybug would be so powerful.
No,
but she is powerful.
Think of it.
Yeah, she is powerful. And so what happened is that they do it a lot in the especially the Zinfandel grape because it's so hardy and they're frequently attacked by other insects. So what they do, they put the ladybug inside of the vineyard.
Really?
And it runs away all. It doesn't. The ladybug does not enjoy the grape itself, but it enjoys attracting other bugs. And these Zinfandel, these ladybugs, is due to the fact they're like cannibals. They love to eat the mosquitoes, the different type of bugs.
Oh.
So the ladybug is a powerful bug.
Okay, right? Well, and, I guess we shouldn't be playing that little bit of the little tingy noises that we hear from when they present the ladybug for music.
Oh no!
They just be playing the Jaws or something. Ladybug.
Ladybug. I mean, you never think about it's a powerful bug. But however, I can go on and on about the freaking bugs. But anyway, about the ladybug at least. But however, like to complement this beef that you prepared, Jerome, so elegantly, we're going to present the Lodi Valley 7 Deadly Zinfandel wine.
Okay, well, thank you. Let's get into this beef and see what we got here. Obviously, yours is right in front of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Again, thank you very much for taking the time to, come on out here and eat some of this.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it is. It's been got some texture to it.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Let's see what this sauce is. A red wine reduction sauce. The sauce takes it over the top. I gotta admit.
It's good. It's good.
It's supposed to have been a little bit more moist, richer.
The problem, Jerome, you're such a perfectionist that is there anything really perfect for you?
Yeah, there is. The whole idea here is that you leave here saying, "Man, that was perfect." To me, I know that I can do better, and I want to make sure that you know it, because next time we'll have just one set of major protein, and you'll see it'll be much, much better.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Oh yeah, that fatty tissue.
Try it with the fruit. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Today has been a great pleasure to be here with BFAM.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite sure that
Thank you.
all of us will hear from BFAM again. This
Yeah,
is not a one-shot deal.
Not a one shot. I'd love to have you back and doing some more stuff.
All right, no problem. Next time I'll bring a different set of wines.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there could be some experience.
Yeah. The fruit takes it, adds to it,
Mm-hmm.
and along with the wine. Maybe we'll do some seafood or something next time. I got some black sea bass.
Ooh.
I got some lobster.
Ooh.
Got scallops down there. I can do
No, that's a challenge. Don't bring some wine to match up with that.
All right.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm gonna reduce it down to one meal. So
One-
we know what
one meal is
we
good.
Talk about the one wine. All right.
All right.
This is good.
Collard greens are good too with it. Oh my God. And again, here's to BFAM.
Thank you, sir. That's good. So 7 deadly sins.
Yep.
All righty. Well, anyway, this has been one of the challenges for myself in a long time to do 3 proteins and bring Willie in. It's always been fun. So he's always that guy you got to go to when you want to have a laugh. These 3 wines that you brought,
All right.
7 deadly sins. What was that second one?
We have a Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir.
And then we have
Pinot Noir for the pork.
Chardonnay for the chicken.
Chardonnay for the chicken. So that's Willie's recommendation. I recommend you guys try these wines with your next meal. It'll be fantastic. And again, Willie, thank you very much for stopping by and doing the thing. And YouTube, you know where we're at. This has been BFAM Cooking. I'm Jerome, and that's Willie.
Thank you very much.
Hey,
BFAM.
see you later, baby.